It is 6:30, and we are going to start the proceedings. Some rules. All questions to be asked, I ask you to come forward to the lectern, identify yourself, just give your name and what street you live on. All questions, all statements are directed to the selectmen, and you'll have 3 minutes. And because there's so many people here, I think 3 minutes is pretty good. If there's more time at the end, you'll have more time at the end to have additional comments. If the questions are directed to us, we'll also get 3 minutes to answer those questions. If there's questions for management of the fire department, same things will apply. You'll get 3 minutes to ask the question and 3 minutes to, a 3-minute rebuttal. I'm going to ask that there's no cross chatter. If there's any talking in the back or around the room, I'm going to, just stop the proceedings and ask you to be quiet. There's an awful lot of people here. I want to give everybody a chance to be heard. Above all, be respectful. If there's anybody that's going to be disrespectful and you follow language, you'll be asked to leave the hall. And the focus is on the future, not the past. So with that, I'd like to open up the floor to whoever would.
Everybody sign. I'm going to just pass this around. Everybody sign in.
Is that attendance?
Yeah. Take me all night to write everything there.
I guess before we start, maybe I'll ask my fellow selectmen if they have anything they'd like to say at the beginning of the meeting. All right, with that, this is a public meeting, and we're inviting the public to speak. So please raise your hands, and we'll, okay. Thank you.
I'm going to do the best I can. Can you hear me? Good. I'm going to do the best I can to keep it to 3 minutes. As mentioned before in previous meetings, my goal has always been to present this information to the town, and this is the perfect time to do that, and it's a huge part of the fire department. So I'll do the best I can. My name is Natalie Mills. I live on 7 Crescent Street. I am an EMT for the Hill Fire Department. Have you ever called 911? If you haven't, you were to call 911, who would you want to show up? Who do you expect to show up? What do you want from those who arrive? I am here to hopefully sway the selectmen to require a minimum of emergency medical responder certification in Fire 1 for all firefighters on the Hill Fire Department. For all non-firefighters to have a minimum of an emergency medical technician certification and be required to attend all training that align with fire calls an EMT would respond to. Let's try this way. First, I will discuss the state's requirements for licensure based on the rules and regulations. Can I just turn this off?
Can we do something about this?
You can turn that one around.
I'm sorry?
Try it again.
Try it again. All right, let's see how that goes. Okay. First, I will discuss the state's requirements for licensure based on the rules and regulations, which are RSAs. Next, I will talk about why obtaining certification licenses are important. Lastly, I will go over where the Hill Fire Department, our town, is today. There are state laws that are RSAs for licensures and certifications for firefighters and EMTs. Per the Division of Fire Standards, Training and Emergency Medical Standards, Jeff Phillips, there are no requirements for a volunteer fire department. He stated these need to be adopted by the municipality, and the municipalities and the municipality's liability insurance should be the directive based on what's covered. Per the New Hampshire Fire Academy EMS Training Coordinator Dave Simpson, medical personnel fall under SAF-C 5900, which we would be required to call and certify as a fast squad, which is a state law and regulates that we can and cannot do as licensed medical providers. Anyone that does not have a license as an EMR, EMT, AEMT, or paramedic cannot make patient contact, cannot cancel a responding ambulance, cannot determine if the patient is non-medical, or they cannot determine if a higher level of care is necessary,
and should not be responding to a medical call unless they are directed to for assistance. After speaking with one of our mutual aid partners, I asked what is expected when someone arrives to their town to either cover or provide mutual aid. The response was, the expectation is that the unit responding has all the training and licensing to be able to work once they arrive. No one should be responding mutual aid unless they have the training and licensing to perform the duties requested of them for medical or fire support. RSA 154-24, outside service by local fire department, states any city, village, or fire district may authorize their respective fire department to go to the aid of another city, town, village, or fire district within or without the state for the purposes of extinguishing a fire, rendering other emergency assistance, or performing any detail as requested. The Lakes Region Mutual...
Natalie?
Yes,
That's the full 3 minutes.
I know, but the Lakes Region Mutual Fire Aid Guidance says crews arriving on scene shall remain intact for all intents and purposes and a minimum of 2 or more members. That means we should not be sending one individual to respond mutual aid, and the expectation is that we will be ready and prepared to provide any and all support necessary. State of New Hampshire list of adopted building and fire codes. There is a handout I believe Jamie has, if anybody wants to look at that. Our town has not adopted these codes. These are created to protect life and limb and infrastructure. The municipality should be adopting these and implementing them in order to prevent injury or death due to a fire. RSA 154-5.I, on requirements to being a chief, the chief fire ward, engineer, or fire chief shall be technically qualified by training or experience and shall have ability to command firefighters and hold their respect and confidence. RSA 154-8 says the fire chief shall have the direction of all apparatus and other equipment and the government direction of all persons and proceedings relating to any fire or other emergency. And the other fire wards and engineers shall aid as assistants. RSA 154-7.2 talks about an officer's responsibility. An officer responding to or operating at a fire, service call, or other emergency shall control and direct activities at such scene, order any persons to leave any building or place in the vicinity of such scene for the purpose of protecting such persons from injury, or remove persons interfering with duties, to enter any building for the purpose of extinguishing a fire, to request in supplied materials such as sand, treatment, chemicals, and special equipment when it is deemed a necessity, to prevent the further spread of the fire, to direct industrial management or other personnel and equipment. If in the officer's opinion such action is in the interest of public safety and identify a hazardous material.
Natalie?
Yes.
You stopped it.
I have so much more. I've written this.
Then you have to give somebody else a chance, so you can come back.
Now, could you get us a copy of what you've got there? Just include it. I'd like to hear what she has to say.
So do I.
We have to give, listen, there's a lot of people here and a lot of people have a lot to
There's a
say.
lot of people here that are willing to give her the 3 minutes.
Natalie,
Can I just say something real quick?
None.
I just want to say something real quick. So I am going to come back up and read the rest that I have because it's important information for the town to understand what is responding to you and what we can do as a fire service. We cannot touch you for specific reasons. And you pay taxes for medical personnel to show up at your house or non-medical personnel. And I feel it is so important for everybody to get educated here to understand that it requires certain things in order for us to treat you, and timing means so much. I have a couple more pages to discuss this, so I hope everybody can refrain from their opinions on where they want the fire department to go forward until they hear the rest of this, because honestly, it may make a huge difference.
Thank you. Please.
Matthew DeRocher, 42 Mountain View Drive. I don't remember when, but I know that the town adopted at a town meeting the fact that the fire department was paid on call. They are not volunteer. Therefore, they are town employees. So my question to the select board is, do we have job descriptions for the town employees that are employed by the town of Hill that our tax dollars support for the fire department?
We do. We don't have them currently approved. They're not approved, but we have a draft of those. And we've actually had them for several months.
My only rebuttal to that is going to be several months, and this is not a reflection of the current board. Several months versus 20-plus years that this town has been paying for a fire department. I feel like the kick the can down the road and kick the can down the road. And I will take full responsibility as a former fire chief that I probably didn't bring standard operating procedures, hiring procedures to the select board at the time. I will also say that the select boards that I dealt with were nowhere near as supportive of the town departments as the last 2 to 3 boards have been. So I feel like I'd like to know what the job descriptions and requirements are, and I feel like that should be part of public input as well.
Thank you.
Nathan Mills, Nathan Mills, Crescent Street. So just to add to what my wife was talking about, I have here I can hand around. These are out of the state protocols for EMS. These are what EMS providers must obey by and what we are licensed to. I will pass this around. This gives you a list of the medications that each level of care can provide to you in an emergency. Also going through here is the different procedures that an EMR can give you, an EMT, an AEMT can help you and care for you, and also the routine patient care. I'll pass this around. If anybody would like to look through that, feel free. So,
Can you provide us with a copy of that?
yeah, absolutely. And that's all you have to go to is the state website, and all that information is readily available. So I'm going to say that when I joined this fire department, and it was 2016 or 2017, it was nowhere near what we brought it up to. We've made a lot of positive changes over the last couple of years. At one point, we had more certified firefighters than we had air packs for. We were training, we were well respected by our peers in our neighboring towns. We were training with them, we were going to fires, and it was very good. Since then, it's been heartbreaking for me to watch it all fall apart. And the stress of that, watching it all fall apart, and not knowing if I would have help to take care of somebody was great for me. One of the reasons why I decided to resign. Just to bring up an example of how important it is to be certified and to have a licensure, the town of Belmont had a fire just this afternoon with a victim on the, which was found to be on the 2nd floor. Luckily, they were able to effect the rescue and put out the fire at the same time.